Hello YouTube! I'm Johnny Fudd from Fudd's Coin Rings. Today on the bench, we've got a viewer-requested project. Jim from the beautiful Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, sent us a 100-year-old silver dollar. Jim originally found me right here on YouTube. We corresponded a little bit through email and discussed exactly what he wanted, and ultimately, he sent me this coin. Amongst some other things, Jim says, I've had this coin for 58 years now. I'm 75 and figured it was time to take it out of the box and put it on. Thanks again, Jim. So let's take a close-up and look at this beautiful specimen. So as I cut this out and we take a look at it together, a little about the piece dollar and coin rings. These are known for really soft dimensions. The details on the coin, if they're worn at all, are very difficult to see when rung. Now this one, this is beautiful. So these piece dollars first were minted in 1921. This is a 1922. Now, 22 was the first full year of minting, and they were only struck for 4 days in 1921. This one is just in beautiful shape. These were designed to commemorate peace after World War I, and that's why we've got the Goddess of Liberty on the front, and on the back, we've got peace on the bottom, and of course the bald eagle is holding an olive branch, a symbol of peace. So we're going to use a lot of care and make sure Jim gets this back in just as good a shape as he sent it to us. Now the first step with this coin ring is just the same with all the other coin rings, and that is to put a hole in it. We're going to use this centering die and this punch with a little help from a 6-ton hydraulic press. There goes your coin, Jim. Woo! A lot of pressure on that big coin. There we are. Can't go back now. Now once the coin's removed from the punch, we've got a sharp edge on the side of the coin that was down. That sharp edge could potentially crack or split the coin as we fold it. So I use a deburring tool, light bit of sanding. Here's our results after some deburring and a light sanding. Now I heat and I cool silver coins after several minutes of the coin ring process. I'm going to spare you from watching this a million times and just show you once. Now that black mark just disappeared. It's time to quench it. Now the dollars have a 1.5-inch diameter, so it fits just right into this 1.5-inch 17-degree die from Jason's Works. It's essentially a funnel shape, which is going to go onto the press. What we're going to do is just force this cone shape right down into it. Then we anneal it again by heating and quenching. We're just going to continue back and forth just like this, and I'll be back with you on the next step. Here's a little update. I ran the 1.5 inch folding die all the way down, and here's what we've got. I'm going to be switching to a 1.4 inch die and a softer cone to protect the detail of the inside of the coin. So the dies I just showed you, those were 17 degree dies. This is a 7 degree die, sometimes called a Swedish wrap. We're going to force that coin down through it, and it's going to curl up these top edges a little better. So I wrapped it in this Blue Monster Teflon tape, and what it does is just protect the detail of the coin. Now we're moved from the Swedish wrap, we're moving to a 1.3 inch 17 degree die, and I've got the reeded side, the fat side, down. We're going to start curling this thing more into a ring shape. And here's the result. Take note on how this reeded edge is a little bit thicker than the edge that was punched. That's because the outside of the coin had to shrink and the inside of the coin had to stretch. That makes for some challenges when we're making coin rings. You can see how the ring isn't quite symmetrical. And in reality, they never really are when they're finished. But we're going to combat that with this tool called a doming block. The doming block is a steel cube that's got these half spheres machined into it. And what I do with the doming block is, one side at a time, I'll push that ring down into the half sphere with help of the 6-ton hydraulic press, and that'll do a little bit more of a curve than our 25 degree die that I was just using. And just out of the doming block, and then a quick dip in the acid pickle to clean it up a little bit, here's what we're left with. Jim said he needed between a size 14.5 and a 15. We're down to a 14 3/4, so it should be just right. The acid pickle just cleans up some of the fire scale, that black coloring that we had earlier. Now, watch how this cleans up. A little bit of steel wool brings that right out after a dip in the acid. Now, most of my videos you'll see me use mechanical polishing, like a Dremel tool, to clean these. But these piece dollars just have such fine detail that any mechanical cleaning could damage the ring. So we're just going to use a little bit of Flitz polish and clean it up that way. Here's our end result. We did some hand polishing and gave a quick coat of Renaissance wax to keep the shine. You see, we've got all the detail from the tail side of the coin on the inside of the ring. Really turned out pretty good. We had a really nice donor coin to start with. You even have the reeds on the side. Now, should Jim or anybody else with a silver ring, coin ring or otherwise, find that their jewelry starts to tarnish, any old silverware polish will work just fine. You don't have to get this fancy stuff that I use. Well, folks, that's a wrap. Jim's coin ring will be headed off to South Carolina in the morning, and I'll be working on some new videos. If you've got any questions or want to see any processes demonstrated, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you're so inclined, check out fudscoinrings.com. And remember, the next time you cross the street, do not forget to look both ways.